Alright everybody, welcome back to Riff Academy. I'm John, your piano instructor, and today we'll be talking about applying, actually using the chords and the scales that we've learned in the last two lessons. Alright, so the scales we had were your A major scale and your F sharp minor scale. So naturally we have the A major triad as the first chord and the F sharp minor triad as the second. So, it's all good and well to be able to sit and play them like I asked you to, do some different exercises, and I hope you've done that. I hope you've been practicing. I hope you have a good handle on that, and on at least two of those inversions I suggest really being able to play and work your way around at least two. So there's the one inversion if you can do it in root position, and then maybe the second or the third, whichever one you seem to latch on to, whichever one sounds the best to you, because you'll find yourself gravitating to one or the other probably more often than not when it comes time to actually apply them to a song. So I would love it if you could play all three just as well as anything else, but at least two I think is a minimum before you should be moving on to the next lesson. So let's look at that first one. You've been able to toggle, hopefully play both the chord with both hands, toggle with both hands even, would be good. Invert it. Try the toggle thing there, and just use the root left-hand approach right now. And then your other chord, which is F sharp minor. Alright, invert it. Now if any of this sounds foreign to you, if you're having a hard time remembering what it's like to invert it, maybe go back a lesson or two and check that out. But for now we're just going to kind of move on into actually stringing these two together and playing them as a sort of, I don't know, small harmonic movement. Remember, harmony is just two notes being played at the same time, two or more notes I should say. So we've got a little harmonic progression here we're going to do, which is just these two chords over and over. Let's begin with just the basic chord, no toggling, no inverting, just the root position. We're going to play each chord for, let's say, 2 measures. Alright, let's try that out in 1, 2, 3, 4. This other measure, come up to F sharp minor. And back to A major. Do that cycle one more time here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and on A. Okay. Now let's do that same sequence, but we're going to toggle. Alright. Just the top 2 notes, and then isolate the bottom. Okay. Same exact sequence. You ready? 2, 3, 4. And F sharp minor. End on a single, solid, unified A major. Alright. Now we're going to take one of those inversions. Let's say we're just going to take the second inversion. Or you may think of it as the first inversion, but it's the second way of playing that triad. Alright, you have the root you can think of as maybe one inversion, and then you have that next inversion. So we're going to play the A chord from the C sharp, meaning the C sharp is going to be your lowest note. Then let's see, we're going to play the F sharp chord from A. A is going to be your lowest note. Okay, let's give that a shot. Same sequence. 2, 3, 4. And just for the sake of time, we're going to shorten that sequence and end here. Now that idea can be applied to every inversion, alright? And practicing it that way is a good idea. Now we did what? We did 2 measures of each chord. Do 1 measure of each chord. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now doing that will make you learn how to get to one chord from the other chord faster, because you're having to think a little bit more quickly. You don't have 8 whole beats to think. You only have 4 this time, so that's a good idea. And then when you get a little more comfortable with that, split each measure into 2 chords. So each chord only gets 2 beats. Think of it like this: 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now the last thing I want to show you is just the way to get from A major to F sharp minor without moving any more than 1 note. Alright? A is here. Now, the only note they don't share in common is this E. So, we're going to take the E, move our pinky up to F sharp, which is the root of the next note, right? So, and then the next chord. That way we're able to keep the right hand basically static or still, with the exception of the pinky. It's that much easier to get to. As you learn more and more chords, you're going to find that it often is easiest, and sometimes even sounds best, just to find a way to get to the next chord without having to do any drastic movement, without having to bounce all over the piano. So anyway, there's a thought for you to work on for this week. Alright guys, so that's the lesson for today. Now as you're practicing this week, I want you to make sure that you're using the metronome whenever you've actually got the sequences, the patterns, the exercises under your fingers enough to do them consistently without making any serious mistakes. Set the metronome to a reasonable tempo, maybe start around 60 or 65 and work up from there. Besides that, practice slowly, practice consistently, and practice often. And I hope you have a great time at it. Now, you should be excited because it's finally time for the jam session come up next lesson. So get your practice in this week and be ready. We'll see you soon, and have a great one.